Behaviors that destroy relationships. Hi guys. Welcome to my channel. Before we get started, make sure to hit that like button, also subscribe to my channel. Behaviors that destroy relationships. So make sure to watch the full video. Connections expect that the members will concentrate on an obscure element. At the point when they are new and confident, the gamble/benefit proportion appears to be certainly worth the dive. However, if, after some time, the profits fail to offset the benefits, the once confident exchange may at this point not merit the expense. That is much of the time the explanation couples come into treatment. Unfortunately, at that point, they have ordinarily endured long stretches of more expense than gain, more torment than satisfaction, and more dissatisfaction than trust. However, they will allow it one final opportunity. Do they actually have sufficient energy, inspiration, responsibility, and trust to have the option to recontribute? Numerous factors go into that choice, yet one is generally huge. What is the ongoing proportion of antagonism to positive encounters inside the relationship's cooperations? A few negative or testing contrasts are normal in each relationship, and most couples figure out how to either fix them or live with them. Yet, some are harming to the point that they annihilate any expect compromise. There are a large number of issues I could use as specific illustrations, yet the 10 I will portray effectively fill the Pandora's crate of relationship evil presences. The greater amount of them that penetrate a relationship, the less expectation there will be for resurrection. Number 1. Public outing. Regardless of what might be happening, seeing someone is never acceptable as far as one or the other accomplice to single out the other openly. Whether it is bringing up defects, uncovering insider facts, going after current way of behaving, or attempting to get another person on board to assist with the close-to-home flagellating, it never looks good. Individuals most frequently do this since they either need to disgrace their accomplices with the expectation that it will put more squeeze on them to change undesirable ways of behaving, or they feel more secure to do that before others and will face the results later. Number 2. Emotional blackmail. Private accomplices share their accounts with one another, particularly in the early snapshots of association. Mysteries from an earlier time, injuries, kidhood feelings of despair, relationship misfortunes. New sweethearts resemble emblematic guardians to one another, enthusiastic and able to be the ones who recuperate those injuries. Tragically, as connections experienced, these once hallowed sharings can be utilized as close-to-home ammo, brought up by one accomplice to cause the other to feel regretful, bare, controlled, or unfortunate of openness in the event that the person doesn't conform to what is requested. Key portion: stalling, sulking, affliction, and dangers of relinquishment or exile are ways of behaving that are utilized to extort inwardly. Number 3. Passive/aggressive behavior. It turns out to be increasingly hard to believe an individual who truly consents to follow through with something and simply appears to never find time for it. At the point when commitments are constantly broken, out of the blue, they in the long run become lies. Generally detached/forceful individuals expect to keep their arrangements when they make them, and feel remorseful when they frustrate. However, they go on in a similar example. In the long run, their accomplices quit anticipating that they should convey. The accomplices of aloof/forceful individuals are not difficult to remember. They have had a mental breakdown, individuals contemplating whether reality really exists. Number 4. Keeping score. Love that develops over the long haul is liberal. It flourishes in light of the fact that the two accomplices offset giving with taking care of oneself. They are significantly more keen on sorting out some way to improve things than who did what's up and why. The conduct most frequently found in these connections is repeating past contentions. At the point when a question is finished and either a victor is named or the accomplices retreat from irresolvable issues, they will for specific return later and rehash the entire contention, rearmed with new energy and the craving to change the earlier result. Endlessly round, they repeat their positions and listen no more profoundly than they did the initial time around. 5. Deliberate unpleasantness. All couples battle and sometimes make statements that are profoundly pernicious to the next. At the point when the residue settles, however, they rush to request pardoning and to relieve the aggravation they have caused. Deliberate unpleasantness is a totally different sort of conduct. The objective of that mentality and the activities that go with it are set and accomplished for the communicated motivation behind obliterating the other individual. These ways of behaving are not difficult to notice and totally unsuitable. On the off chance that they are not halted, hardly any connections will make do. A few instances of deliberate ugliness are hitting unsportsmanlike, flipping the contention to put the other accomplice on edge. Going for the throat, scorn, stalling, profound thrashing, utilizing weaknesses to debilitate, deriding, nullifying, or utilizing others' viewpoints to reinforce the contention. Number 6. The relationship triangles of habit-forming ways of behaving. Having worked for a long time with habit-forming ways of behaving, I comprehend how much damage the triangles that generally exist when a habit-forming evil spirit turns into the third individual from a trio. Anybody who has lived with a fiend realizes that the person will constantly be in contest with an all the more impressive, enchanting sweetheart who can remove the other accomplice whenever. Individuals who are dependent can be allured in to get away from ways of behaving that exile the other accomplice from any ability to consider them responsible to the relationship. Think Pinocchio. Tell the feline and the fox, just accompany me and you will not need to confront your heartbreaks, your forlornness, your disappointments, your feelings of dread, or your lost open doors. You can do anything you desire without any liabilities. Obviously, you will ultimately transform into a slave, at this point not ready to work in reality. However, that is in tiny print. Number 7. Double crossing. Double crossing can exist across a wide range of conduct. In any case, essentially, it is the cognizant decision one accomplice makes to put their needs more significant than the sacredness of the relationship. Trust is tied in with accepting that an individual will do what the person has consented to and won't do what might hurt the other accomplice. It depends on fair and genuine arrangements with respect to what ways of behaving are adequate to both and what might issues assuming they were known to the next. Double crossing, the concealment, and pardoning the activity by accusing conditions or the other accomplice, leave long-lasting scars in a relationship center, frequently irresolvable. 8. Annihilating hallowed symbols. Each person holds hallowed specific convictions, mentalities, connections, and connections. The pictures and contemplations that are essential for those physical, mental, close to home, or profound associations address those symbols and are, by affiliation, similarly defenseless. These hallowed symbols may basically be significant recollections from an earlier time, strict lessons, treasures, connections, material belongings, or transitionary objects that address a person or thing lost. They are not really sane nor do they loan themselves to challenges. Relationship accomplices never reserve the privilege to discredit, mock, or annihilate the hallowed connections that either have. They can get some information about when and how they are significant and why they are such a lot of a piece of an individual's close to home scene, yet their significance is rarely limited. Number 9. Deleting. Recollections make the establishment that permits a relationship to develop past its limits and resolve its challenges. If either accomplice in the relationship has any desire to eradicate a previous way of behaving on the grounds that the person would rather not own or manage it, the other can never determine the issue. Those accomplices are not ready to acknowledge responsibility for who they've done previously, and are basically requesting that their accomplices imagine their bothers have never occurred. Number 10. Fraud. Imagining. Lying. Control. Misdirection. Misrepresentation. Saying or doing whatever one requirements to clutch what they need to the detriment of the other. It's somebody has returned to talk soil behind. Keeping data that means a lot to the next accomplice to deliberately keep them oblivious, or concealing that information to pull off something. All false reverence in its structures justifies itself. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. Also subscribe to our channel before you go.